Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
Welcome to episode 19, I believe. St. Patrick's Day edition, post-Oscars edition.
The bling.
I would say a little St. Patrick's Day, the green, and then we would sort of bling it up a little bit, for the Oscars talk.
You blinged it.
I don't really have anything formal, so.
You blinged it.
And I have a matching ring to this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I find it all the time when I don't want to wear it.
You gave it to me. I have one like that.
I bought you one because you liked it, but I have one that matches this, and it doesn't. Anyway, so blinging it up a little bit for the post-Oscars.
All right,
so
you blinged it. You blinged it.
So I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about that. Oh wait, hang on. Get the kids out of the room and the elderly if they're around, because we're not always appropriate. We like to swear. So in case you're new and haven't learned this yet,
I feel like I'm
are you all right?
out of the picture. There, now I'm a little bit
turn
more
the
in
camera?
it. No, I didn't touch the camera.
Well, I'm leaning into it this way. So we can never get it. Probably
Okay.
we're crooked also. Who the fuck knows?
It's campy. Just deal with it.
Fucking thing. So the Oscars. Okay, so let me see some takeaways. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched bits and pieces, and then I was on the phone. I got a phone call during part of it, so my nails are ghetto though. My nails are not Oscar worthy. That just has to be fixed tonight. Anyway,
Wow.
Wasn't that bad? Fucking bad. So I was watching a little bit with it muted. I didn't really need to hear all of it. So
I like Jimmy Kimmel. I thought he did an excellent job.
I don't know if I like him, but I did think he did a good job. I thought he did a good job.
Best Oscars I've seen in years, and I've heard other people say that, like on the news and the rating, not the ratings, but like the discussion afterwards.
Okay. I haven't watched anything about it.
By those in the know, said this was one of the best Oscars in like the last 10 years.
I thought he did a good job. I don't normally like him. Something about his voice, something about him was like nails on a chalkboard for me. I always say, why don't they have Jimmy Fallon do it? Because I think that would be great. But I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a good job. But I thought, what are my takeaways real quick? Let me see. Okay, first of all, what was the awards ceremony we watched? We bitched. Everyone looked like they looked fucking crazy outfits, like pleather and like weird and like crazy. Was it the Emmys?
No, it was the Grammys.
The Grammys.
Okay. So they're all nuts at the Grammys.
No, but this was like very formal.
Roll.
Everyone looked beautiful.
Well, that's because it's the Oscars.
There's a lot of sleeve shit going on. There's a lot of floofy, for me,
lot of
the
big
bigger
sleeves.
the better. So Divine Joy.
No, I'd look more like a linebacker.
Well, I would too. But
she,
I thought she was beautiful. I love the color of it.
Yeah.
I love the poofy sleeves. I love that it took up the seat on either side of her. Like
yeah,
Paul Giamatti was laughing and
she
clapping,
was
and the feathers were fucking fluffing around in his clap. I loved it. I thought it was
cried.
great.
When she won, he cried.
And that was the best movie.
Yeah.
I know you haven't watched it. She's not watched any of them. But the Holdovers was the best one out of all of the movies
I'll get to it.
that we saw. Definitely worth the rewatch. And we're going to watch the one with Emma Stone. Oh, maybe not.
What's
I don't know.
it called?
Sometime. I forget.
Not normal? No, I forget. It's like
I forget. I don't know. I thought it looked stupid, but it won all these awards, so I guess I'm going to have to watch it. And she was super cute. Like, I thought she was super good. I love the fact that her dress was broken in the back.
I loved how she
that
went
had been
up and,
me, right? Because I would have pointed it out. And like, look,
she did.
Look at this.
She's like,
right.
This is my dress. It's ripped.
She showed everybody on stage because, and then turned around and showed everybody. And that was something that totally would have fucking happened to me. I would have been up there like, but I was waiting for it to like fall down. I'm like, oh my God, it's split open.
No, it looked really tight.
It looked tight. But also the girl, Margot
Robbie. Why was she having to sit like this?
I think her dress, I think she couldn't sit upright with
it was like this. It was stiff.
Well, I think the front of it was stiff.
The bodice.
And so she couldn't.
The whole bodice.
I never saw a picture of her standing, so I'm gonna have to.
I'll have to Google that.
Well, I've recorded this. I'm gonna have to go back and I can fast forward.
I didn't see her stand at all during the thing because she didn't go up to the stage.
So Barbie didn't win a bunch of shit.
No.
Which I'm fine with. Look, with the Barbie winners, the Barbie lovers, I'm sorry.
And for those of you that didn't watch it, oh well, we just spoiled it for you.
I mean, the people people loved it. I did not. Other people loved it. I did not. I thought The Holdovers was excellent. I liked Anatomy of a Fall. And the lead actress in that, I have no idea what the fuck her name is. She's German.
Yeah.
She was in another movie that was up for something too. So there were other movies and other things that were listed, other movies that we didn't know about. So there was one about Nazi Germany during World War II, obviously. I forget what it was called. We looked it up last night on the TV, and it's not free. The one with Emma Stone is free on Hulu right now if you have Hulu. So far, the ones we've watched have been free, except for the one about the Anatomy of a Fall we rented, and then you can of course buy them for $20. Why the fuck would you buy a movie you've never seen before? Anatomy of a Fall?
Yeah.
I just got done. Yes.
And what's the name of the one with Paul Giamatti?
The Holdovers.
The Holdovers.
That's the one that Divine won for.
Right.
That was excellent. My favorite. I like a movie that has drama and comedy. It's not overly dramatic. It's not stupid slapstick comedy. I thought it was great. Anyway, okay, so what else? What do you think? Okay, Jodie Foster. I think
she's aged well.
She is aging beautifully without a bunch of work done. She has
some wrinkles, but I mean, she's
she
almost
good.
60.
I thought she was over 60.
No, I don't think she's over 60.
I thought she was beautiful. I loved her navy blue dress. I thought she was beautiful. And I don't know if that was her wife or co-star sitting next to her that had a bunch of, I don't know if it was glitter.
Rhinestones.
I was trying to look to see, like, are those piercings? Is it glitter? Like, it was really cool looking, and I wanted to, like, get, like, a close up, and I thought that would be
maybe I should
I could get like little stickers.
Maybe I'll do that.
Because if I got my piercing, Joe would probably shit his pants. But I could get like
why
little.
Would you do that?
The little sticker things, and somebody else had a little one here.
Why do you want to be 80 with something in your face?
I don't think they stick on.
Oh well.
Oh, that was cute. Let me see what else. My other takeaways. I made the list, but like I'm remembering. Robert De Niro, what a curmudgeon old fuck. Why is he even invited to that? Why does he even go to this shit?
He sat there without a smile on his face the entire
scowled.
time.
He smiled one time at
maybe
somebody else.
Maybe that's just like his resting bitch face. I don't know. Like maybe that's
He wasn't laughing at the jokes. He was just fucking, he looked like he wouldn't be anywhere in the fucking world but there. Stay the fuck home.
Is that his new girlfriend or new wife or something? I don't know. She seemed to be laughing at things though.
He laughed at the joke that I think it was Jimmy Kimmel made. Somebody made a joke about
having a kid.
No, about him. It was near the beginning because Jodie Foster and Robert De Niro were both there, and they had both originally been there for Taxi Driver way back when. I don't know if De Niro that was originally. It was Jodie Foster's first time. Anyway, so they're both there tonight, and now Jodie Foster is too old to be his girlfriend, which
he laughed at.
He did laugh at that, but otherwise he looked fucking curmudgeon-y. And then I was able, so I got back on. Well, there's a lot, but hang on. So I got off my phone. So De Niro made me think of The Godfather, which made me think of
Al Pacino.
What the fuck? Did you say what? So I thought maybe he was having like a mini stroke, or
no. I mean, the man is old.
Was he senile? Was he drunk?
I don't know.
I mean, it was
the
the
man
end.
Is old. I still like
him.
I
was very. First of all, he seemed confused, and then I seemed confused.
He did not age well.
Like he just fucking skipped over. He didn't list all the movies like
was
he was
supposed to. Though?
So he was So then I thought because they did a little snippet from each of the movies
throughout the awards.
No,
so I thought
I read about it. When I couldn't sleep in the middle of the night. I was awake from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock this morning, so that was nice. So I finally just got on my phone. I tried to resist the urge to get on the phone or get up and go to the bathroom because I thought either one of those things was going to keep me awake. So finally, I couldn't resist the urge to go to the bathroom anymore. So I went to the bathroom, then I was wide awake. Then I got on the phone, and then I read the article about Jimmy Fallon made a joke about it either backstage or when he was with Kelly and her husband.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about it to somebody afterwards, like about Pacino seemingly confused, and that has he never seen the Oscars before? Because like you're supposed to announce all the movies that are up for Oscar, and then say, and the Oscar goes to, and he's just like, oh, here you won, Oppenheimer, here you go, congratulations.
And if you look closely,
I don't think he could read the thing.
Well, no. And I don't think he could either, because if you look closely, he was holding the envelope, the gold envelope, like everybody else had, but then there was written in large font. I couldn't see what it said. I'm sure if I slow it down and stop it, I could see it, because he kind of moved the envelope one way before he started even announcing, and it was probably the wording that he needed to say. It wasn't
maybe we only have it on a
teleprompter. It wasn't the inside of the envelope.
Everybody else was reading from the teleprompter because you could see them reading from the teleprompter.
I don't know. It said something on it. He had a little sheet of paper on top of that envelope telling him to do something. But he has not aged well, poor man. He was disheveled a little bit.
He's always been like that. Aging well. Mary, what the fuck is it? Steenburgen?
Oh, yeah.
She does not fucking age. She does not age.
She was in, oh my God, I love her.
She was in Parenthood, Elf.
She's been. I
can't.
She was the mom in Step Brothers.
She's in so much that I can't even remember it all right now. But
she loves Will Ferrell.
But she is. She doesn't age. I mean, it's amazing how she doesn't age.
She's freaking funny.
Although she seemed like she was having a little bit of a hard time too up there.
See, I missed the.
I don't know if that was the writing and it just wasn't flowing well, or she couldn't see the thing to read. I don't know. But Jessica Lange looked pretty good for her age too. She looks pretty good. She ages pretty well.
I mean, she was like a sex symbol. I mean,
she's doing pretty good though. I think she had a little work done, but she looks pretty
80?
good. I don't think she's 80. She was in several seasons of American Horror Story, so I've been seeing her over the last few years.
I don't watch it.
And then who was the woman that was up there with them in the black frilly? Rita. I want that dress
or something. She was in West Side Story, I think.
I think so. I need to have that dress.
She's Hispanic.
I would look as broad as the fucking wall behind me.
Oh my God,
but all that
was
frill,
so
I loved it. She was adorable in that little dress.
She was in Broadway. I mean, she's been in many Broadway things. She's very famous. Oh my God, now I can't remember.
I can't think of her name.
We're so
Rita something, I think, right? Look, I barely took some notes. What else?
Joe knows. He blurted her name out.
Robert Downey Jr. gives weird speeches.
I think that's because he takes those beta blockers or whatever. Like I think he's
maybe, but then Joe told me because I missed
he's
it.
Still
so
funny as shit.
Well, he caught a bunch of shit because when he went up on stage to get the award, he ignored Short Round, whose real name I don't know. I know him as
Short Round
from
Indiana Jones.
Wasn't he also in the Goonies?
I think. But here's the thing.
But he just took it from him, like, walked the fuck away.
If you watch that, he really only kind of gave Matthew McConaughey a fist pump, and then there were two other people over there, like on
Matthew McConaughey was on stage for that?
Yeah, he was announcing. There were a bunch of gentlemen.
No, Tim Robbins was up there.
Tim Robbins.
Some guy
Matthew
I don't
McConaughey.
know. Was he up? He looked a little rough.
But the point is that he didn't really give anybody else a fist pump. I think he was just very nervous. And
speaking of Matthew McConaughey, have you seen the skit, excuse me, with him and Jimmy Fallon, the tight pants skit?
No.
Oh my God. I'm gonna find. I'll put it on the Facebook page. I like pissed my pants the other day watching it, and then I showed our friends that were visiting. It is fantastic.
It was Sam Rockwell, not Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, it was?
I told you. I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't him.
Okay.
Because this was for supporting actor. Matthew McConaughey was up there for the Best Actor award. Rita Moreno. Thank you.
Rita
yes.
Moreno.
Our fact checker walked past. Thank you for that. Thank God he had the door open. What else? So the fucking dresses, the sleeves were awesome. Melissa McCarthy. I didn't like the pink and the red together.
Like pink and red.
I loved her dress and I loved her hair. It was nice and high. Like, how do you get that volume on the top? It's just
teasing it.
I mean, I thought she looked beautiful. I loved her dress. What else?
You know, I want to say I haven't seen much of Charlize Theron, whatever.
Yeah, she always looks good, and she wears those like thick fucking necklace choker
That's
things.
She's so tall and she's got such a neck.
Right, but she looked beautiful. And the guy that was on there, so they all had the shot of
tequila.
If it was really tequila, I mean, who knows?
Guillermo.
Because Jimmy Kimmel, he took a drink of it, and he didn't even like. There was no like. I mean, how do you? I mean, I like fine tequila.
I don't know, maybe
But how do you take a drink of that and not even like?
Maybe he didn't really take a drink of it.
I don't know. I don't even know if it was really tequila. They just all had the little bottle in their hand. Who knows? What else? So Billie Eilish, I thought she looked beautiful. I'm glad to see she pulled her shit together and didn't look a little wild for the Oscars.
She's hip, like all the young.
But you
people.
you can't go. You have. It's a formal event, and you're meant to be formal. And she had the black and white, what you call it, the houndstooth skirt on, and then she changed for her performance, which I thought was really good. John Batista. Fuck the fuck's his name?
He's from New Orleans. John Batiste.
He
used to be
I love him. He used to be on Colbert.
Yeah, he was
He's like the nicest fucking guy. Like I love watching him speak and listening to him speak and watching interviews with him. It's like you want him as your neighbor, not that fucktard that walked by a minute ago. Like you want him to be like, hey, come over and have a beer. Like he's like the nicest. He just seems like the nicest guy. Like he just brings a great energy with him.
He seems like he doesn't drink.
Who knows? Maybe he snorts coke off the table. I don't fucking know. But he's really chill. He does something. I mean, how are you that chill and not? I don't know. Look.
Wait, who else?
He has a good energy.
Can we just talk about?
I think we're fighting a little something.
Yeah, I'm getting over my illness from last week, and that hurt. Can we just talk about Bradley Cooper? What is his mother doing with those blue
my God. And I said this to my friend the other night.
What is she doing with the blue
glasses? So I was on the
glasses?
phone with my friend who is from this area the other night, and so they showed her again, and I made the comment that I had made to you when I was at your house. I was like, oh my God, whoa, you can take the girl out of Philly, but you cannot take the Philly out of the girl. She didn't like that. I thought it was amusing. And I didn't mean to really be disrespectful. I just meant it like... with the blue, she just looked with the pink lipstick and the blue glasses. She just, and the everyone looked very, very tan.
Well, they probably all used some tanner.
I thought it was the coloring on your TV because it always brightens people up. And then when I was watching it on my TV, I'm like, people are fucking tan. So everyone went for a spray tan before this. Which I actually thought about doing before my surgery. I thought, why not?
Well, that'll be funny.
I'm not going to do it. I thought about it. I was online even looking just for like self tanner. I thought that's a lot of work. I'm not doing all that.
Well, then it starts to like fade, and then you look like you're
also because I thought like if I was just doing it around like to go around, I would just do basic like like the basic parts. But I mean, what do you do for the hospital? I have like white, like I'm white. My trunk is white, and then everything else. My ass. I mean, like I'm not going to tan my ass. Also, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have it. Anyway, so I thought, I'm not having a spray tan.
Well, you have to use that cleanser, so it's probably going to take a spray tan off anyhow.
Yeah, the fucking Hebe cleanse, which I think is fucking no, so like heebie-jeebies, Hebe cleanse. I have to use like the, anyway, enough about that. Let's go back to this. Okay. So Bradley Cooper always looks good.
He's been nominated, I think they said 11 times.
And I thought he did a very, very, very good job.
Yeah, he did.
In
Maestro.
I thought he was excellent. I thought he really was excellent, and I thought probably he was very well deserving. But I also really love that Killian, whatever the fuck his last name is,
Yeah,
won.
Irish guy.
And I had it was on mute for that, so I have to go back and watch that speech. Although every time I see him, all I can see is the fucking Scarecrow from Batman. Like all I can see.
He was the Scarecrow in Batman?
He was the Scarecrow in Batman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The one with a few years back. Anyway, yes. So I see that, and I find it amazing how he's able to look so young in some shots. I mean, I guess it's the makeup artist. So young and then so weathered in other ones.
Yeah.
And I can't decide if I think he's hot or terrifying looking. Somewhere in between.
Speaking of hot, do you know who I think was the best dressed?
Male or female?
Female. It was a black and white dress. It was Bradley Cooper's co-star on Maestro. What is her name?
Oh,
I
she
forget.
looks so elegant and
What
beautiful.
is her name? It's
I have
on
no
the tip
idea.
of my tongue.
I don't
oh
know
my
her name,
God.
but
She's
it was
British.
a beautiful dress. And she had the
Mulligan.
gloves on.
Mulligan
I
is
love
her
the
last
gloves.
name.
I love the gloves.
Mulligan
I
is her last name.
Damn it, I have gloves. One of my Halloween costumes. I should have put them on. I should have had them on with my green, my
No,
bling.
no.
I could have put my rings over top of them.
Liberace over here.
Right. I didn't even wear. I only wore. That's the only one I put
Liberace.
on. I only put that one on because I'm swollen. I had a martini over the weekend that had like a lot of olives. And it'll take me 2
All
weeks
the
to get that
salt?
out of me. Yeah, I'm swollen. What else? Okay, so what's her name? The dress that stuck up. Blunt. Is that Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt.
I
She was in
thought her dress
Oppenheimer.
was really cool
It was
until
gold.
I saw it like, and then I realized that
It also is
the
stiff.
sleeves stuck up.
It was a stiff bodice, just like
Maybe in case she wouldn't get tired, she could like rest her head. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it was
It was
elevated because
weird.
it was stiff. Like so,
Right.
the shoulders.
well, because at first I noticed it when she was sitting down, so I thought maybe she sat down and it pushed it.
Off.
It didn't look. I don't know. And then at the end, so the dog that they kept showing was the dog that was from the movie
I need to watch
Anatomy
these.
of a Fall.
Right.
I love that dog. I love its blue eyes. And I was talking to you when we were together, and I texted also, where the fuck is Matt Damon? Because he was in Oppenheimer, and they were up for all these awards and winning all these awards, and why wasn't Matt Damon there? Probably on set somewhere. I don't know. But,
Well, he and Jimmy Kimmel have this like thing going on. It's like joking relationship. They're really good friends, but like Jimmy Kimmel's always pissing on Matt Damon, like making.
well, at the end, the dog pissed on the fuck. I just texted you, where the fuck is Matt Damon? And then the dog pissed on
his
well,
star.
I mean, they actually did not piss on the star. He lifted a leg, a very well trained dog, lifted his leg like he was pissing on Matt Damon's star, which I thought that was a great way to end the all of it.
Yeah.
the all of it. Yeah.
I didn't see Ben Affleck.
Well, he wasn't in anything that was
I know,
up
but
for
like
anything.
usually they invite all the stars. I mean,
I don't remember seeing. Well, see, part of the thing is now too. Instead of like 4 or 5 movies, that I like a dozen
Oh my
fucking
God.
movies that are up. So you get all those people and their guests and all their people in there. There's no room for all that. The rest of people have to stay the fuck at home and watch it, like us commoners. I mean, there's no room.
well, at least it didn't rain this year because it's rained in the past
It's
out
rained.
there, and they had all that rain in California prior to this. So at least it was
Well, at least
somewhat
it
sunny.
was
I think.
somewhat sunny and nice, and
And it started at 7. I'm not quite sure why they did it at 7, other than then Abbott Elementary came on,
which was funny. I watched.
Which was funny
part of
'cause-
that with Bradley Cooper.
well, we probably just gave it away.
I mean,
there was a
whatever,
surprise.
Whatever. Watch it.
Yeah,
Wasn't in the
Abbott
con- I don't
Elementary's
know.
good. It was a new one, obviously, right after the Oscars. It was funny.
So what's up?
Funny.
Maybe someone else can tell us. With the wide leg trouser pants that the men were
For
wearing,
men?
the tuxedo pants, the wide leg sort of bell bottomy. I don't think it's really a good look.
I don't
personally.
like
I think
it.
the guys in the slimmer looking trousers look. Robert Downey Jr. had them on.
Slimmer or wider?
They were wide leg. They were like bell bottomy type. And I thought maybe it was just him, but then I saw a few other people, and then I saw a little snippet of like all 3 people that I had noticed. They're doing right now. I forget who they were with the wide leg.
you see
Bradley
he-
Cooper, maybe.
Yeah, Bradley did have.
He had the wide leg.
Did you see Robert Downey Jr. had like a lanyard on, one of those
Yeah,
lariats or whatever the
weird.
hell they're
And
called?
the
I can't
big glasses were
remember.
like bad porn star glasses.
Oh, I didn't think
Look, I thought he had a weird look. Oh my god, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, probably Robert Downey Jr. took it all in stride, and I wonder how much they know that they're going to be like when there were jokes
Ripped
about other
on?
people, because when it said at the beginning when
Well,
Jimmy
obviously
Kimmel.
not much, because 2 years ago, Will Smith cracked.
Oh, that's right.
Chris Rock across the
I
face.
forgot about that. Oh, that was fun. Anyway. So, but when Jimmy Kimmel made the crack about this is the highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s career, and they made a little joke about it, and then, or maybe not the highest point, and he took it in stride. It was funny. And then there was another comment made, and then he kind of shook his head, which I thought was funny. And then the part, did you see with Kate McKinnon?
Oh, yeah, she played in the Barbie movie. Yeah,
she came out with America, and she was the whole bit about the documentary, and then she said, well, who am I sending my tasteful nudes to? And Spielberg was like, I thought it was fucking hilarious. So like, obviously some of that's planned.
We
Some of
have
that's
never
planned.
discussed her bits on
There it goes.
her bits on Saturday Night Live.
You can't kick the table.
We've never discussed her bits on Saturday Night Live.
You
If
know,
you've not watched it, you need to. We're gonna get to it.
So, well, I mean, I that's all I have on. So we could just go right into that. It is fucking funny. So
we will have to see if we
I
can
showed
post the
I showed
snippet.
friends, and then it's so inappropriate.
It's
but
a skit that she
I
does.
got an ear itch. Excuse me, I got
It's
an ear
a
itch.
skit that she does on Saturday Night Live when she was on it. She did it for a couple, I don't know, like a season. There were like probably like, I don't know, eight skits of it.
Where she's abducted by aliens. She's with another panel of
my
people. They're abducted
God.
by aliens, and these other people have a really nice, very
Relaxing,
kumbaya thing
meditative.
with the aliens, and they're friendly. And then this woman just gets like dropped off naked in the fucking middle of a baseball field, and like talks about her
The aliens are looking at her.
her grassy knoll and her gassy hole. I mean, it is fucking hilarious.
I laughed so hard I
There-
peed. Do you
It's
remember
amazing. I remember
peed?
all the time. There are several skits of it, and she makes all these references to her nether yeha,
Cooter and the Hooter?
as Amy Farrah Fowler would call it, the cooter and the tutor.
The Cooter and the Tutor.
Cooter and the tutor. All of these references.
And you were going to go to your gynecologist instead.
I was right. I was gonna. What was I gonna? I was supposed to have an appointment. I didn't go. I was gonna be like, let's get this. Check out my cooter or my tutor. Just to see. I'm gonna thank you for that reminder. Yeah, when I schedule that appointment, I might have to do it. Speaking of gynecologist.
Oh my God.
So, as luck would have it, and for men, sorry if you've already heard this story, and TMI also for anybody else, but women out there, especially if you've not hit menopause, this is really good to know. So, as my luck would have it, I'm supposed to get my fucking period right after my surgery. Fuck that. So I got online. I thought, I know there's stuff you can take that you could to push that back.
You just keep taking the pill.
But I'm not on the pill, so I can't just keep taking the pill.
Oh.
So I sent a message to my doctor. I said, look, I did a little research. I know that there's, like a hormone you can give me, whatever. Just take it for a few days. It'll push it back. No reply. I don't have time. I have enough of other appointments. I don't have time to be going in there just to fucking give me some fucking progesterone, lady. You can get it online.
Oh my God.
So I got it online. Paid $39. It showed up yesterday.
But is it like legit? Are you getting it from like
yes,
Mexico
no,
or something?
it came from Ohio. It's from a pharmacy.
What pharmacy?
I don't fucking know.
I don't think it's a pharmacy.
I had to put in some medical information, of course, like the basics. And then their doctor reviews it. And then if there's questions or concerns, they'll contact you. Otherwise, they just agree to it. So I have it in the mail, and now I have it, and then I can just because the surgeon was like, no, you should go to your primary for that. I don't have time to go to the primary. I have a lot going on in the next 2 weeks.
You should probably still call your primary and just say, hey, I ordered this.
So my friend, her daughter is a doctor. So I saw my friend over the weekend, and I said, can you just ask her? I me's progesterone. It's just fucking progesterone. It's just whatever.
It's just a hormone.
Yeah. It's not. So she called her daughter, and then she called me back and told me, yes, it's fine. She goes, I have to let, obviously, when I meet with,
the doctor
people, the doctor people, I have to let them know what medications I'm on. I'm not really on anything, so I'm going to let them know that, because I have to start it like Sunday while I'm in the hospital. So I have to take it with me so they can give it to me, because they have to administer meds or whatever. So
you can't take your own meds while you're in the hospital.
I have to take my own meds in my pre-op appointment.
No, but you can't take them in. Like, you can't take them
It said to
yourself.
go with them.
Oh, no, I know, but it made it sound like you had to give it to your doctor so they could administer
From
it.
what I understand, I give it to them, and then they administer my meds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just keep it in your overnight bag and take
they
it.
have to. Right.
What
So
trouble was following that? Like, how'd you have trouble following
I
that?
thought you meant I couldn't take my own, but they told me to take my. Anyway, but so girls out there, or ladies, whatever of an age, also while I'm on this thing, it was asking me if I wanted some other stuff. They also have, and not that I'm condoning it or saying it's wrong or good or anything else, but they have the morning after pill. If ever you need it, you get online, you fucking order it. You can also just go to Walmart and get it, I think, too. But anyway.
They have it at CVS.
Right. So, but I was like, you'd have to leave the house. I paid $39. It showed up in the mail. It would have probably been less than that if my doctor had just fucking called it in. But since she couldn't get back to me, it's not like I'm asking for cocaine. I'm asking for, a hormone. Anyway, so that's...
It's a non-controlled substance.
It's a non-controlled substance. It was so now I have it and it's fine. And I had it verified by the doctor of a friend, the daughter doctor of a friend, and who knew? You can get all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of things on there.
I know, and there are plenty of like 60-minute episodes telling you
Well, no, it's
like
not like
to not
it's
do
not like
that.
I'm getting like Oxy or something. It's just a fucking. It's fine. It did not come from Mexico. It came from Ohio. It arrived yesterday. Comes within 3 to 5 days. So that was excellent. $39. I didn't have to pay, which I would have had a $40 copay at the doctor's office, plus had to pay for the script. So, hey, it's taken care of. Anyway, so if anybody needs that information, shoot me a DM or PM or whatever the fuck you call it, and
Or just Google it.
it's like WISP or something. WISP, WISP. It's
Does
WISP.
it stand for something?
It's WISP.com or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Changing
Anyway,
gears.
Yes.
Animal story for this week.
Oh, Christ.
You saw it. Animal story for this week.
Good.
And the reason, I mean, it's not just me. Obviously, humans are fascinated with
The bobcat that fell out of the tree?
Well, there's that. Obviously, humans are fascinated by the human-animal interaction because this is on the news. So this was in October, and I'm
Another
just
mauling?
no.
Oh.
This is in October, and
I don't
you
know
saw
about
it
this.
last night. This is in October. I taped it, and you saw it last night. I'll tell you. You'll hear. So, oh my God, I have to repeat myself. This was in October of this past year, October 2023, but we're just now hearing about it. So this at the Fort Worth Zoo, this silverback gorilla.
I was like, how am I having a total brain fart from this? Right.
Yeah. Are you stroking?
Maybe.
This is not funny. So they
I'm a coffee went cold.
the
Woof.
zoo, what are they? The zookeepers?
The
Not-
zookeepers.
I know, but there's a different name for them.
They call them zookeepers.
Okay, well the zookeepers that are in charge of feeding the gorillas
It's gross.
in this at the Fort Worth Zoo, usually the news says that the zoo says that they take the animals and put them in their inside.
The news says that the zoo says. Now we're in a Dr. Seuss book, for Christ's sake. The news says that the zoo says.
That they take the animals and place them in their inside habitats while the zookeepers are putting the food out in their outdoor habitats, and then once the
I was having a stroke.
yeah. And once the zookeepers are out of the outside, then they let the animals back into the outside to get their lunch or dinner or whatever. So I guess this is lunchtime, and nobody got the male silverback, obviously.
Obviously.
And so he kind of cornered. He was getting aggressive. He did not hurt anybody.
He just kind of charged them to kind of be like, this is my space, back the fuck off,
I
bitch.
know, but it could have been bad.
It could have been bad, but it wasn't.
So you see these very
They
frightened...
euthanized this one, did they?
No.
Okay.
You see the frightened, there are like 3 zookeepers in there, and the one is like trying to get back into the indoor habitat area. The door was open, and it kind of cornered the one, and it just kind of ran over and like fake charged, and
It wasn't really fake charge. I mean, it charged it, but stopped.
right,
It
stopped.
didn't like attack.
It was bad. I mean, it could have been bad.
It could have
was
been
not.
bad. It wasn't that bad.
But I'm like, why are we just now hearing about this in March when this was in October?
I don't know. Maybe they had to investigate.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody.
But then they showed the replay too of the little boy. Are you sure?
I
Did they
was
show
thinking
that?
of
You
that.
told me.
No, they
That
did
was
show that. That
horrifying.
was Harambe in like 2016, where the child.
But he wasn't. He
fell
didn't
over.
hurt the child. The child fell over. How the fuck does that happen? Anyway,
Well, yeah.
the child fell over.
I don't know
Maybe you
how
shouldn't
that
hold your
happens.
kids up over the fucking fence.
Or maybe they were
The
climbing
child
over
fell
it.
over.
He didn't. You know,
But he
I
didn't
don't
hurt
know.
the kid though, right?
There's
I
this-
mean, he grabbed a hold of the kid, but he just was sitting there with the kid. But they say that they're the protectors of the young, so maybe
Right.
he thought he was just
But
protecting the
this
young.
was very polarizing.
he could have-
This
he could
this
have.
Harambe thing was very polarizing in 2016.
Did they
Like,
kill the fucking ape?
yeah,
It's
because some
horrifying.
people are like, he needed to be shot. He was gonna hurt the child. Although what
Whoa, but here's the thing: don't they have fucking tranquilizer? They couldn't fucking tranquilize the
I
fucking
don't know.
ape
Maybe
and
there
get the
wasn't
kid
anybody
out?
around there. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
mean-
don't know the full story.
How do you go for the bullet before the tranquilizer?
I don't know. Was there maybe nobody around there with the tranquilizer?
It's kind of like the police. Why don't you use the taser before you use the fucking bullet?
Well, let me tell you, if I were that mother, I'd be scared shitless that my 2-year-old or whatever was now in the water with the silverback.
Oh, we thought Patrick was afraid of the fucking apes.
Well, I mean, now
That fucking kid's
watching,
probably scarred
this is
for
so
life.
bad. Watching
That kid's
the
scarred.
silverbacks
Scarred.
interaction last night at the Fort Worth Zoo and then Harambe, I mean,
Because we had to go backpedal and go back and watch. Like,
no, it was on the news.
was it? I thought we
followed-
Googled it then.
the
Somebody
clip-
Googled it.
No, the clip I showed you of the Fort Worth silverback followed up with Harambe. They're like, and in
Yeah,
2016,
that's true.
Harambe. Yeah, you
Okay.
were like not. So
Well, thank God it's recorded. I can go back and watch it again.
yeah, so that was on the
I
news.
can't believe you recorded the news.
Because I wanted to see the
Okay,
story.
okay.
I was busy have a lot to do in the house.
Did you record Good Morning America? 'Cause I need to go back and watch the episodes.
I did not record today or yesterday. I mean, I did record yesterday. I erased it.
Okay, I need to go back. Sometime this week, maybe it happened already, was the interview with Robin
Roberts,
and Applegate. Christina Applegate. Yeah, I want to watch it. Anyway, okay.
Oh, Christina Applegate and what's that girl?
From Sopranos.
So from Sopranos.
I forget her name.
She also has, last name starts with an S, not Singer.
I know. I know it. I can't think of it. But yes.
So they have...
It's a two-parter. I need to go. I have to Google
They
it.
have a podcast.
Oh, do they?
Christina Applegate and this girl who is on The Sopranos also has MS, but is not as far along in it as Christina Applegate.
I didn't know they had a podcast. I'm going to check this out.
Obviously, it's at a different stage with Christina Applegate. But they have a podcast called Messed Up or Messes Up or Messed. But anyhow, the M and the S are capitalized for MS.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so back to Harambe.
So the Silverback. So my oldest son is.
You told this story before.
Terrified.
You can tell it again if you want.
No, he's just terrified of gorillas. And after I
he was
saw
a small
that
child
Silverback,
at the zoo. He didn't like it, but now, right? I mean, look.
Do you know what I watched?
I find them to be fascinating.
This is on Disney Plus.
Taylor Swift.
No, it is a Natural Geographic series on Disney Plus. I was a little bored last night. John's out of town.
Is this the whales and the sharks we talked about last week?
No, this is not the whales and the sharks. This is about Ethiopian wolves, which really look just like small dogs. With
aren't they whatchamacallits?
No,
like they have in Australia.
No, dangos.
The dingo ate my baby.
No.
The dingo ate my baby.
It was and some kind of monkey.
Jackie could do that really well. Our cousin Jackie could imitate that perfectly.
Well, she had a British accent, kind of.
Yeah, but that was took place in Australia or New Zealand. Well, but anyway, look, she could do it really well.
So
great movie.
But it was about these wolves, these Ethiopian wolves, and these monkeys in the hierarchy because they're both very social groups. The monkeys are called a troop, and the wolves are called a pack. Well, I guess, but they weren't together. It was just showing the different, to make it more interesting, okay. It was just showing the two different animal groups and following them and how the one mother wolf had to tell her daughter to go away, her older daughter, because the pack it is her daughter.
Her cub.
The pack got too big. It was her daughter because she was older, living in the pack, but there could only be one alpha female and that whole thing.
Scram, bitch. Yeah,
but it's interesting.
You're too old to be in here.
It's interesting the dynamics and the communication that animals have. And I know you guys think out there I'm freaky now and like I've gone off the deep end, but you need to watch it.
Oh no, I like
fascinating.
Animal Geographic. Christ.
If I had nothing else to do in my life,
National Geographic.
It is. If I had nothing,
I said Animal Geographic.
It's
National Geographic.
If I had nothing else to do with my life, I would love to just watch animals every day and like take notes. There are people that do that every day.
Like what's her name with the gorillas in the mist?
Yeah, I don't want to go that far.
What's her name?
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
At any rate,
and that jackass in Alaska with the bears.
Well, I don't want to do that either. That fucktard. So
there it is. There it is. I really wish it's right before we turn this on. The neighbor who I fucking despise and his fucking whore wife walked by.
Let's have some good karma.
I am the way I am with my hostility because of them. Anyway, let's pick a card.
Okay, get a card.
Okay. I'd like to point out, Michael. That I added a little something extra back there.
We like it.
Okay, back. I wrote back and front.
Oh, you did? You wrote on my box? You wrote on my box.
You want to pull the card, or I'll pull the card?
No. Hopefully it's
not. For fuck's sake, we pulled this the first time and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. No,
you're not. You're going to put it back. You didn't put it back in the right spot.
Stop. We pulled it the first fucking time we ever pulled a card. It was this card. We put it back, so we're just going to do it now. If you could go back and talk some sense into your teenage self, what would you say?
My teenage self, I would say...
Put down the crack pipe. None of us smoke crack. Talk some sense into your teenage self.
Don't be so serious.
I can guarantee to you that is not what I would say to my teenage self.
Imagine.
Whoa, that is not what I would say.
Ow, it's really
I'll break the fucking porch.
I'm trying to get comfortable. Imagine that's
we
not
can move to the couch if you want.
Imagine that's not I mean, of course you wouldn't say that.
No. So my teenage self. let me
Obviously,
see.
I'm the oldest child. She's the youngest child.
Well, first of all, I believe that everything we do in life has gotten us to where we are now. So I feel like, the lessons that we've
Where the fuck did
learned.
it get me?
Lessons that we've learned. You learn from the good, you learn from the bad. History repeats itself, all that jazz. So maybe I don't know that I have necessarily any big regrets. I think maybe I would have taken high school itself a little bit more seriously. I would tell myself to take it a little bit more seriously because in high school I looked older than I was always.
How about somebody thought you were my mom the other day?
Fuck, we went for a pedicure last month. And I picked my color, I go to my seat, and I hear the woman say something about, is that your mother? What the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? So she comes over and I was like, did she just fucking think I was your mother? The fuck? It was my birthday pedicure. We went for my birthday pedicure. So right on my birthday, I was like, my head fucking whipped around. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not, fuck. No.
And I'm the one that had the roots
Right?
showing.
Christ. Anyway, so I looked older in high school. So I hung out with a lot of college students and I had college friends, which I love. Michelle, I know you watch this and I love you. And I don't regret any of that. I had so much fun. But I might have maybe spent more time, and I had good friends in high school who I'm still friends with, but maybe had taken it just a tad more seriously. Just maybe been around for high school events more seriously. Maybe had actually done a sport besides like an actual. God, for the love of Christ, it's shaking the fucking table. You have to stop.
You did softball. Dad was your coach.
It was Parks and Rec, which I loved. I mean, we loved it, and it was very casual, which is good because I'm not overly competitive. When I get competitive, it's not pretty.
Well, it was fast pitch softball. I mean, it was kind of competitive.
It was also, I wasn't going to go there, but it's also very political. And if your father was a doctor, a lawyer, or a certain Penn State personnel, no, it's fucking true. You got in, or if you were really good. First of all, I was a catcher. I was a fucking catcher.
I have friends that were on the softball team.
I'm not saying they weren't good, but I'm saying people that got on the fucking team who I grew up playing with, who were not fucking good, got on because of who the fuck their parents
you're 7
were.
years younger than me, so
Look,
that was. I don't even.
And not everybody, because I know plenty of people that played
coach.
were very, very good. It wasn't a new coach.
Okay.
Dad had words with him. It was, I didn't run the bases, not that I didn't run the bases fast enough because I could fucking sprint when I need to. It's shocking, actually, even now. It's shocking how fast someone of my size can fucking sprint when they have to. But, so if I was in immediate danger, I could get away quickly as long as I didn't have to go far. But when we would run the laps, so my conditioning sucked. I hated running. I was a fucking catcher. What kind of fucking running do I, how fast can I get the fuck up and down from how about that?
Well, now you can't do it because you're back.
No, now it takes me like a half an hour to get off the fucking floor. Anyway, so the team sport thing, maybe you've gone out for something else or just taken, I don't even know, just been a part of high school more than what I was. But otherwise, I mean, I really don't have many regrets. I mean, I didn't do anything overly crazy. And again, I feel like we learn from our mistakes. And the mistakes I learned from, I learned the hard lesson and I learned from them.
No shit. I don't have any regrets. I just would have told my younger self in high school,
Your high school self, your teenage self.
Teenage self. Well, you're kind of a teenager when you're in college. I thoroughly enjoyed my high school experience and everything about it. I
didn't mind mine.
Loved everything about it. I still have.
Some people hate it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't.
I loved it.
Care to be around
it. Was as active as I possibly could be.
We were like night and day different.
Yeah.
Yearbook, fucking student council.
Oh my God. Kyle and I were co-editor-in-chief. How the fuck that happened, co-editor-in-chief?
I did nothing.
But thank God, I got to put this out there. Thank God for Katie Queenie, class of 1988. Thank God for Kate Queenie, because she was our editor. Thank God, because God only knows what typos and whatever else. She's uber smart to begin with, but was great with all of that. She edited the entire yearbook. But, I mean, we had sports editors and stuff too, but Katie saw every printed word. That was back in the day when you actually had the photo and you had to crop it with orange wax pencils before it went to digital.
Fascinating.
It was old school. We had to submit it. We had to paste them on this sheet.
I find nothing more stressful than making a photo book digitally. I mean, I'm on the Shutterfly having like a fucking meltdown. I have such a fucking issue with it. I can't even.
Well, supposedly it's easier, but no. So, and then student council stuff. It's not about that. But I had a really good time in high school. I loved it. I loved playing field hockey. Loved Mrs. Trenzo. It's not until you're an adult you really realize. I was just telling my friend Mike about this the other day. It's not until you're an adult that you really realize what they were saying.
It just doesn't matter.
No, she like
meatballs.
You learn.
Dad always said that when he was coaching.
You learn
it didn't
a lot.
matter if you win or lose.
No, you learn a lot of lessons, and
Dad was very Ted Lasso.
Yeah, but Dad had a winning softball team.
Probably because we were good and we weren't overly competitive. We were out there to have fun.
Dad played everybody.
I think that made the difference.
Dad played everybody.
And we played together from the time we were in like 5th grade until we were fucking senior high school.
I started in 3rd grade.
Here, wait a minute. I just thought of 2 things I'd tell my teenage self. 1, don't drink the night before a softball game in high school, because that made on the Saturday morning 9 a.m. games. That made for a rough game. But the other thing, because you said about you're still a teenager in college, so I would absolutely go back to my teenage self of my freshman year of college and tell myself that when I fell down those fucking stairs and busted up my tailbone, that I needed to go for a second opinion, because I might have not be 47 years old walking into back surgery next week. Right. And maybe also when the doctor who said it wasn't broken but it was broken told me to carry a donut around campus, and I was like, well,
who would have done that? Nobody.
Right? I mean, like a fucking. Let me walk into a class with 400 people with my fucking donut and sit on it.
Well, those seats were damn uncomfortable.
Like I have a hemorrhoid. Can you imagine? I mean, like, hey, what? Look at the chick with a donut. What the fuck? I was not walking around the donut. I couldn't even fit it in my backpack.
You could have taken it in and inflated it at the beginning of each class.
Below my donut, up in the front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would have told myself to probably handle that a little bit differently. And then as far as totally failing out of college, my
this is
first
a good
year,
story. Good story.
So the student loan part of that sucks a little bit now. It's in my 40s, still paying student loans from grad school, really. But I learned from that, and I did not want to be kicked out of college.
No, you learned from all of it.
And I got academic probation, but I took very seriously, and then I graduated, and then I had dean's list every fucking semester after that. So, hey. And I TA'd multiple semesters for 400 level classes, and the hardest fucking class I had, Alicia, you remember this. This fucking class it was one of the HGFS classes, like it was psych and HGFS were kind of like interchangeable at Penn State. And it was on birth order and blah, blah, blah. And this class was no fucking joke. And I remember Alicia and I studying for it. And I was just like, I was like, I'm going to fail this fucking test. I had a bowl of popcorn. There's always popcorn. I had a bowl of popcorn sitting there studying like on a Sunday afternoon. I was so frustrated. I threw my textbook, which then hit the bowl of popcorn, which then went all over my apartment, which then I had like a fucking rager. I was like so angry. And we went in to take this test, and I remember I took it, and I was like, fuck. And we go back, like, the next class, and they're passing back the fucking, the blue books. And, he's saying how most of the class I did really poorly, but there were a couple people who did really well, and blah, blah, blah. And don't I get my test back? I was, like, the only person in the class that had, like, a fucking A. I was like, whoa.
Woohoo!
Right? So, and then I had to go home and type up my answer. Like, type up my test answers to give to the TA so she could use them for test prep or whatever, help. Well, I don't even know. I don't remember what it was for. Anyway, so I was honored when he asked me to TA for him.
Yeah.
But I had him my last semester. So I was like, I mean, I'm not sticking around. Like, I'm not going to be here to TA. I mean, I thought about it, but I was like, no, I'm getting out of here. So I came to Philly.
Well, back then you didn't get paid to be a TA, so it's not like you would have
No, but it was good on a resume because
right,
I TA'd for Dr. Cornel.
Right.
Let's help me out here. At least 2, if not 3 classes. And whatever. Anyway, so for those of you that don't know the story, I wasn't like I was like sitting around like smoking the crack pipe or something my freshman year of college. I thought that it was like high school, that I could kind of skip classes and just kind of read the book and I would be fine showing up for the exam. That was not the case.
And didn't I tell you?
I mean, I skipped a lot, and I hung out with friends. We might have been smoking weed a little bit here and there. But we like sit and play the cards and like, you know, I loved playing spades, and now I can't remember how to play it. But anyway, so just like chilling and just thinking that I could get away with skipping class and still doing okay, like I did in high school, and I learned that was not the case.
When you failed out, I remember you sitting on my bed in the basement.
Christmas time. Why they send a fucking report card over Christmas time?
It's not really a report card anymore in college, but I still call it a report card.
Were you able to access Patrick's grades?
Oh yeah, but he had a sign for me to do that.
See, we didn't have that. They sent a fucking letter to the house.
Even though that's been a law since like 1974.
They sent a letter to the house because I was.
It's not a letter. It was an envelope.
They sent an envelope to the house with the fucking grades because I had gone to, to see my friends in Massachusetts at the time, and we got back, and the letter was there, and it was like the 23rd of December, and I hid it in my desk, and Mom came in and wanted to know where my grades were, and then people can imagine how well that went over, you know, for my first semester of college.
I felt a little bad for you, but at the same time, I was like, well, now you made your bed, you got to lie in it. But don't you remember me telling you, look, do you want to sit around and be white trash and never do anything?
You told me that. And it's not to say if you don't go to college, you're white trash.
No,
it's
I'm not
absolutely
talking about
not what she meant. It's not what she
I'm
meant.
talking about like
it's not.
You
what she
got a
meant,
loan
but
out now. You got a loan out,
right?
And
I mean,
right.
I was just totally fucking off, and I needed to get my shit together.
Yeah.
And so then
it wasn't even like you were struggling with the work. You just totally fucked off.
Just fucked off. Yeah, it wasn't like I did fail biology twice. Again, you
God.
have to go.
Are those bi-sci classes were bullshit?
God, those fucking biology classes, and not to mention. Okay, look, I didn't do well in biology in high school. I remember we had the test. I loved. Oh, what was it Mr. Rocky? Was that the health teacher? I cannot think of his name.
He was a health teacher, Mr. Rocky.
We had Mr. Rocky, and I remember the anatomy part, like the sex ed part of it. I remember taking this test, and I was like, it was matching. So it was like a diagram of the female parts and the diagram of the male parts, and you had to like match them, and like I knew the main parts.
Mr. Rocky was no
like,
joke.
I have the vag, you got the ovaries, you got the uterus, fallopian tubes, that I could get. The male parts, I'm like, what the fuck are vas deferens? I don't know. He came over and he looked over my shoulder and he pointed and shook his head. So I changed it to something else, and he's like, and shook his head again. I'm like, I don't need to know this. I don't need to know ever. And at 47 years old, I still don't need. Look, I know the main parts. I know the functionality for the most part. I don't need to know anything else. So he was just like helping, was like pointing out, because I didn't do well in class. I loved him. I loved class. The birthing one though. So I had health class right before my lunchtime. My lunchtime.
I think mine was at the end of the
my
day.
lunchtime, I fucking split. I was either smoking weed with some guys out in the fucking soccer field, or I left to go. I did volunteer. We got to leave half days to do volunteer work, and I worked at the AIDS Project, stuffing envelopes and teaching safe sex to college students. Tons of fun. So I would leave, right? So I mean, I loved it. It was like a little job, but it was, you know, volunteer. We had to do volunteer work as part of whatever to graduate.
For high school. For high school. Health class. I won Center County's outstanding youth volunteer my senior year.
I did not. I didn't get that for showing college
Outstanding.
students how to put a condom on a dildo.
I do want to brag a minute. Not a banana. I won Center County.
A dildo.
I won Center County for state high. Mr. Rocky nominated me
That's
along
fantastic.
with some other people, and I won.
Good job.
For outstanding youth
You were candy
volunteer.
striper.
Yeah, but I did other things.
Oh.
Like you counted all these different things. I did other stuff. It wasn't just candy striping.
I worked at the AIDS Project. That was it. But we're such different high school experiences, you and I. Like I went to a party the night before the SATs and was smoking up a little. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, the health class. Something. Where are we going with this? I don't even know. I don't remember. Oh, right. So we're watching. So we have to watch the video with the woman giving birth. So in health class, I would hurry up and eat my lunch because I would leave school to go somewhere to do whatever it was I was doing, volunteer or whatever, see my friends in the apartments next door, who the fuck knows. So I would leave. So I hurry up and ate my lunch. So I was sitting there. Now I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch that day. So I'm watching this fucking video. I'm like, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off on the sandwich. So I'm looking at the clock, you know, and the bell's about to ring, right? And I have my sandwiches out, like I'm ready to just hurry up and eat it. But so I'm like, okay, I have plenty of time. Like this isn't gonna happen. I can hurry up and eat my sandwich. I start eating this peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? I'm trying to hurry up and gather up my stuff. The bell rings. He's like, no, sit back down. There's like 30 seconds left. I spit that sandwich right back out of my fucking mouth. I was done. That was done with the sandwich. There's nothing beautiful about it. There's nothing beautiful about it. It was horrifying. And that was at the end of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like a Diet Coke and a smoke on the way out of the building or whatever. I mean, that was and my Diet Coke and my smoke on the way out.
Your Coke and your smokes.
So I looked so much older in high school. I'll never forget this. I was with my friend Brant, and we were leaving school campus for. Hang on, my headband's slipping. We were leaving campus. Christ knows why. To go out and have a smoke, probably. Who knows? I was driving in the car. We were in the car together. I forget who was driving, but they had the security guard who stopped us.
Farmer. We had Mr. Farmer.
And he looked in and he saw me and he thought I was like a substitute teacher. He's like, okay.
A student was driving.
In junior high, I was in 8th grade and one of the substitute teachers came up to me. I will never forget this. I had on a navy blue turtleneck dress from Banana Republic. I remember this dress because I didn't have a lot from Banana Republic, and I love this fucking dress.
We didn't have a Banana Republic in college.
We did. We got one then. And a silver necklace. I remember it like it was yesterday. And a substitute teacher walked up to me and asked me like some question. And I looked at them. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, well, you're a teacher here. I'm like, I'm 13. I'm sure they thought but I looked older. I mean, that was a little extreme. I mean, I could get into college parties. But looking like a teacher in the building, anyway.
I loved junior high at Park Forest Junior High before they were called middle schools. I loved my high school. There's a group of like 7 of us. We're still very close. We had
pods or teams. You didn't have that because my first year in junior high.
So we're still really good friends. We did not have the pods, but we met 4 of us were from. It's actually like 6 of us. 4 of us knew each other from kindergarten, and then we added a few more in junior high. And then we've just stayed good friends. I mean, we were friends with everybody in my high school. I think that everybody in high school, you had your core group of friends. Stay high people out there. Let me know. I mean, I'm not saying it was all
I have said that about my class.
I'm not saying it's all kumbaya, but I'm saying we graduated with 520 in our graduating class, and I can say that we meaning the 520 collectively knew who everybody was. It wasn't like, oh, I've never seen that girl, I don't know her name.
I struggle now though.
Well, yeah, that's different.
And now, especially because they're adults, like people will friend me on Facebook. I'm like, who the fuck?
I mean, and there were different groups, the typical groups. But for the most part, I think everybody got along in my class.
I know. I'd love to hear what other people think because I think the same thing. And I've had this conversation with Joe because Joe went to high school with some people.
Maybe some people weren't nice to other people in my class, but for the most part, there weren't like any knockdown, drag out fights. Right. There weren't any girl fights. I mean, occasionally. I'm not saying again it was all kumbaya. I was never a girl fight. But I listened to my other friends talk about their high school experiences, and I'm like, whoa! I'm glad I did not have that.
See, and when I reflect on it,
I loved it.
And I feel if you had a bad high school experience, if I was ever an asshole to you, I could not imagine that I was. But if I was, I apologize. I wasn't around enough to be an asshole. I mean, honestly,
I was kind of opinionated.
I was loud and got in trouble for laughing and talking all the time. I don't think I was an asshole. And if I was, truly, I'm sorry. Let me know. We can talk about it now. I'm happy to do it. I don't think that I was. But if I was, I apologize. But I know, like 475 people, and I had the same impression. That was my takeaway. And again, everyone's experience is so different. And I'm sure there's some people out there who fucking dreaded it or hated it or whatever. But I felt like we were all kind of friends with each other. Like band people were friends with sports people, were friends with like the soccer players, were friends with like the softball players, or the baseball players, and the druggies were friends with everybody too. And like, you had your your wall people. Remember the wall people?
They tore that fucking wall down.
They took the wall down?
Yes, to put in the whole swimming pool and enlargement, like right after
I'm sorry, we're talking about 2 different walls. I'm sorry. The wall I'm speaking of, my generation, is the old main wall down along College Avenue.
I'm talking about the wall that was at the high school, in front of the high school where the old parking used to be.
No. Well, you get to be able to go out and smoke there. You can't smoke there anymore. It was illegal by the time I got there. I know. But I feel like everybody was pretty friendly with each other. Like, we played softball together and stuff. So in junior high, the year I started, they started this like Team A and Team B, or Pod A and Pod B, or whatever thing, and they broke us up. And it was, I guess, so you could matriculate through with the same group of people through all. So it wasn't like I have classes with these 8 people, and then I go to my next class and I don't know a single soul there. So basically, you would change classes and have classes with the same kind of group of people all the time. Right. Like that's where I met Jenny. That's where I met Jean. I mean, my elementary friends, we're still friends. We still Rosanna, Susie, Erica. We still get together. We still keep in touch.
I mean, it gets harder as you get older
Well, sure, but
because
Facebook,
families
I
and
feel
work
like
and
helped
stuff.
that.
No, Facebook
Like
is very
Facebook,
helpful.
I feel like, and that's also Facebook is the reason why I feel like I don't have to go to the fucking class reunion, because I feel like Facebook, I'm seeing everybody. I'm seeing your kids, which I love seeing, and your pets, and what the fuck you're making for dinner, and all of your achievements in life, and all the things. I mean, I feel like I'm seeing it, so I don't do the class reunion.
Our generation uses Facebook more than like Instagram or the other socials.
Fucking Instagram.
I mean, I think everybody uses a little bit of everything, but the main source of communication and DMing for my generation and specifically my high school class comes from Facebook. But it's been great to reconnect with people or people that I knew but never really talked to that much. I mean, I went to my 30th class reunion several years ago. It was before COVID, and had a great time. Now, there weren't all 500 and some of us there, but it was a great time. Loved reconnecting with people that I used to see all the time that I hadn't seen in years, and then, basically meeting new friends, which are really just people that I graduated with, but we didn't run in the same circles, but we knew everybody.
We had our 20th, or I graduated in 95. So
I graduated in 92.
Whatever, in 2015, I guess it was.
I've not gone to all my reunions, and now I'm sad.
I was like, look, I need the whole fucking world to see how fucking fat I am. You can just see me from the face up on Facebook. I'm not going. I didn't go. I was having zero interest in going to that. And there are people who I would like to have seen, but I think also a lot of people that were there I'm already in touch with, or at least I see on Facebook or I message with here and there. Right. And I don't know. Maybe I'll go to the next one. We'll see. I went to the 10-year. It was a good time.
Yeah, I went to my 10-year and then I went to the 30th.
I did a bunch of apple pie shots and threw up in the sink at the Lions Den afterwards.
I went to like my 25th too. There was one that was at Champs outside in the summer. And then I went to the one that was at Toff Trees for our 30th.
But, that's nice.
Yeah, the one at Toff Trees was nice because you could mix around more. The one at Champs was obviously nice and it was outdoors, but you kind of could get stuck up on the deck and then downstairs as you're trying to leave. So,
all right.
The point is that I think that our high school, and I say this to everybody,
No, the year ahead of me, those girls, and sorry if you were the year ahead of me, I thought those girls were bitches.
I'm saying our high school, not necessarily each individual class, but I'm saying the high school that we attended, I think was idyllic and made a great effort to, as you said, move the kids around so that you were not in the same 5 classes.
But that's what I was in junior high, though.
Oh, we were not.
Kept us. They gave us like Team A and Team B, and so you were with the same people.
In high school,
so that's why Jenny and Gina and I became friends. Like Jenny and I were like, Mr. Bolash. Didn't you just ask about Mr. Bolash the other day?
I did.
Jenny,
I did not have him.
Mr. Bolash. Anyway, I love Mr. Bolash. Anyway. We were moved around together so that we weren't like fish in the sea, just like trying to get our way. They were trying to make junior high, I think, better for people or easier for people.
Maybe in junior high, but at high school we were mixed up all the time.
In high school we were all mixed up,
except for if you were taking like an AP course. Obviously, if you're not taking an AP course, you weren't mixed in with those kids for AP history. But they did a really good job of you getting to know each other, and I think it was having to take specials. Like we had to take an art class, we had to take a music class. There were things that you had to take that back in the day. You had more room in your schedule too. Yes, we were people wanted to get good grades and good SAT grades, but it wasn't like Patrick's grade or when growing up here where it was all like there's no time for extracurricular. There was no time for extracurricular. No, like the art class and stuff. There were not the extracurriculars. What do they call it when you're in class?
Somebody out there is yelling at the screen right now, giving us the word.
I know.
Specials.
Thank you. Specials. There was no time.
That's what we called them in elementary school.
It's the same.
Specials.
I still refer to it as specials. I don't know what they're really called in high school.
I hated art class. I hated music.
He didn't really
have
the chance to do that. Because of all the other classes that were mandatory for...
Well, now when we went to junior high, and I don't know if this is the difference between growing up in State College, if they still have this, and if they don't, versus growing up here, because we had like shop class. I fucking take the fucking lawnmower apart. Anywhere?
Well, no, around here
we had wood shop in junior high. We had shop class.
Oh my god, I love those.
I knew I was never going to take that fucking. I was never in my life going to take apart a lawnmower engine, and we had to do it. I could help get it apart. My Sarah was the person, not my friend Sarah, different Sarah, was who I was grouped with for that fucking thing. I'm like, I cannot get this fucking thing back together again. I don't care if I fail it. I don't care. I am never going to have to do that. Like I never needed geometry, and rarely do I need algebra.
We had shop and we had
Woodshop
cooking.
was fun. Cooking, I love.
So-
I was in cooking club in
Wait,
high
so
school.
I call it cooking, but it was cooking. You had a cooking
Baking.
class,
It
then
was a
you had a
baking
sewing class,
sewing.
and guys and girls had to take. You didn't have, they called it life skills.
Life
and
skills. We had
then-
all of it though.
Right. You
But now they should
rotated
do like
each-
home ec. We'd home ec. It was called a
Right.
home ec.
Sorry, thanks. Yeah. Kyle and I did the lawnmower for. Oh my
Fucking
God,
lawnmower.
what was the name of that? He was short, not Mr. Hughes, because he was my
Mr.
woodshop
Hughes was
teacher.
woodshop.
Mr. Arnold was also my woodshop.
I can
Hughes
picture
did
him.
metal.
He,
He
the
did the
guy
short
with
little
my
guy.
shop guy. He got his.
Oh my God, we
He got his fingers
Oh yeah.
cut in the. He was having detention after class, and the window came down
Ooh.
and cut his fingers off. Weaver? No.
I forget. I'll have to look it
forget.
up now.
It's
If any of you know,
horrifying.
write in. Kyle.
He
and
was
I,
all right. I think they put his fingers in the cooler. I
They
think
had those
put
big
it back on.
like desks. It was all one big like island thing. You each had one. There were like 5 of them. And
huge, like the
yeah.
huge like chemistry desks.
yeah. So we would. Kyle and I had to take it apart. That was easy, and put it back together. Thank
It's
God.
taking apart,
she helped
fucking
me.
lickety split.
Yeah, no, we put it back together, and I think if you had like extra parts, you didn't get an A. We had one extra part, but that sucker started. We had to stand on the table,
I
up
don't
on top of
remember.
the tabletop, and start that lawnmower, and it started.
I don't remember.
Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had like one screw left, like one. It was like hanging out.
I remember we had this round piece, and we had to put like some kind of like oil thing around it, and then put these little metal like piston things. I don't even know. I was like, they wouldn't step. I was like, I don't fucking care if I pass this because I'm never going to need this in my
No,
life.
you're not going to need it, but here's the thing. I've never taken it apart again and never put one back together since then. But I think it taught me how to read instructions. It taught me how to put
See, I'm a
something
visual
together.
learner. That doesn't work for me. I have to see by doing. I can't see by reading. That doesn't.
Well, no, I'm a
Like I
visual
have to.
learner too.
Like
but
that's why YouTube is like the best fucking thing for people like me. Because I will pull that up and watch, except for the French twist. I've been trying to do a French twist for like fucking 3 weeks now since I bought those nice little hairpins. I can watch that video 16 more times. I cannot do a fucking French twist to save my
Mom
life.
and Dad still have the 3 candle sconces that each of us made. They were great. We made those in woodshop in junior high. We were like in
Guess what's
7th
gonna
grade.
happen to those one day?
Wait. And I'm keeping mine.
Okay.
They have our names on the back. And then Dad still used. I made a small scoop in metal class and a bigger
I
dustpan.
don't remember making anything.
He
I
still,
made an ashtray.
they have those in the. He has those in mine. He has in the garage now. The little scoop thing, and then
I
the
have
bigger
no idea what I
dustpan.
made. I remember the candle scones. I made Mom a dress and
Oh
sewing.
my God, sewing.
I was fucking good. I was good at that, and now I can't.
No.
Now I'm like, let's play the game where Mom show me how to sew the button on.
I was so much better at
You do
the
it.
the wood and metal shop than I was at sewing. Sewing fucking sucked. I had Mrs. Barry and
Oh, I like Mrs.
junior.
Barry.
I liked them all, but I had Mrs. Barry my 8th grade, 7th grade. I had Mrs. Rathbun who knew
Rathbun.
Mom.
Ralph.
I made this dress.
Something.
Now keep in mind it was like early 80s, so it was like neon,
Hideous.
neon, and it was fleece. Like, you know, there were sweatshirt dresses. That was the in style, so we had to pick a pattern. That's
I made
what
Mom
I
like
picked.
a jumper sundress kind of thing, and she wore it.
She
It was
did
nice.
wear it. No.
I did a good job with that fucker.
Fucking thing.
And now I can't
So
sew a button on.
I made this dress, and
Oh,
the
we're
one,
an hour.
and
We're
like,
gonna wrap this
the
up.
back seam was like completely not even. I brought it home, Mrs. Rathbun. I swear to
I don't
you,
think that was her name.
yeah, it was. You might
Rathbun?
not have had her, but
I
I
had her
did.
like a picture, but I think it
Mrs.
wasn't
Rathbun gave me, I swear to God, people, she gave me an A because she knew Mom, and she knew Mom was this excellent seamstress, and she was probably like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? She
I'm
can't
sure.
sew.
I'm sure anybody who knows all the skills that our parents have, and we
Yeah.
lack all of them.
Yeah.
We lack all of them.
I can't do
Or we're like,
fractions.
what the fuck?
Mom and Dad deal with fractions every day in their jobs, and I don't even know how to fucking deal with it. So, at any rate, so I
Thank
brought
God
it.
for the internet. So I,
I
can
brought
Google
it
that
home,
math when I
and
need
I
it.
kind of threw it at Mom. I'm like, I got an A, but you can't wear it. She's like, don't worry, I'll fix it. I'm like, I'm never wearing the dress. I'm
Right?
never
Yeah.
wearing the dress.
I made an ugly pillow the one year, and then I don't even know.
So
But
here, back to your
we
question.
have to wrap this
In
up
middle
though soon.
school, they did have some life skills. Like Patrick had to do sewing. He made a gym bag. I don't remember any kind of wood shop or anything.
No.
I don't think there was any baking.
Well,
I don't know.
Also, I think it depends though on what district you're in, because
Right.
for example, the district that you're in, poor girl, everyone, it's all college bound. There's no kind of vocational push at
but yeah,
all.
like 95% of the graduating classes are
and,
college bound.
and that's why people are paying the taxes they pay to live in that township. The problem with that, though, as we're seeing, and it's everywhere, is that there's a lack of skilled laborers. There's a lack of plumbers. There's a lack of fucking construction workers. There's a lack of welders. A lack of all the things.
Our high school does not have a vocational education program at all, like we did when we were in high school.
I don't know if Haverford does.
State college.
State college people. Do they have this?
State college still has a.
They did? Do they still have it?
They had a really
Fucking
great
pipe in.
program. Shelly, I'm sorry if you're watching. write in, tell us what's going on. I remember when Mom and I took the tour of the new high school, like 5 years ago before COVID. Dad had worked on it. They redid the whole high school.
I'm yet to see it.
It's gorgeous.
I didn't go take a look.
Gorgeous. So anyhow,
I didn't care about the high school when I was there. I'm not going to go take a look at it now.
Shelley gave us a tour, Shelley Ishler, of the vocational, but she's married now. But anyhow, and that's her last name. Marshall was her maiden name. Oh, so at any rate, gave us a tour of more of like the vocational part, and she runs.
So they have one. They still have one.
They were working on nursing. Okay. They were doing nursing.
So Haverford Township, I think, has that because our friend's daughter did. Like she did like a medical thing where they did like a couple of, they went to learn to like the phlebotomy thing and like imaging like MRI type stuff and like different like tech skills in the health industry.
Right. We're not. I just want to make the distinction. My kids' high school does not have a vocational education program. They have like a life skills or tech ed, which is not computers. It's something totally different.
But the specials, so the state college have the specials like we have. Like, do they have sewing? Do they have shop class?
I don't know, but they have vocational education that you can take your classes, like English, math, the basics, and then you go right to your like lab for learning to be a nurse.
We know they got rid of driver's ed.
Well, yeah, and State College.
Didn't they start it?
Google this. State College started the country's first driver's ed class. They had a driving range right there.
The driver's range.
We had a class that we had to take. It was a quarter of a credit, and you had to take that.
You had to go. You sat in the auditorium and watched.
To graduate. Even if you never got your driver's license, you had to take this quarter credit to graduate from State College.
Right, which was crazy to me because when I got to college and I met people from Philadelphia, they didn't have that. And I was like, why do you, like, which was it was just so bizarre because you don't think of it. Like, that was my experience. And then they were like, what do you mean you had driver's ed? We had to pay to have our driving class, which was fascinating.
You have to find somebody. We had great, those
why did they get rid of it there?
I don't know. I used to know. If anybody knows, let us know. I think like a sign of the times. Like, they don't have the room for the driving range anymore because they expanded the high schools, taken that lot over.
Mr. Adams teaching me how to drive standard.
Oh my God, who was the other one?
He was as red in the face as my lipstick.
Well, you would be too.
That poor man. How he must have had. He had to have had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Taking us driving out around town. The back. I was fine with the driving. It was the driving standard, which to this day
I never learned. I should have. Dad told me.
It's a whole other dad. But they also don't really make standard vehicles anymore. But I can't do it. The only time I've ever been able to do it is if I had a couple of drinks. I can't do it. So I don't do it. I don't really know anyone with a standard vehicle anymore. My friend's Corvette I drove a couple of times, but I kept stalling. Imagine. And then driving, I remember downtown, he took me onto College Avenue and he's like, you're going to parallel park this. And there was like a Mercedes, it was like a Mercedes and like something else, like nice. And I was like, I'm not parallel parking between these two cars. At my first effort, he's like, "This is part of your test. You're gonna parallel park." Okay, and I did it. I was very good at it. I'm actually very good at parallel parking. At least I used to be. Knock on wood.
Let's just be clear.
We gotta wrap this up.
I know this driver's ed. For those of you who did not go to our high school, in the test we're talking about, this was not the Pennsylvania State driver's test.
No, it's part of our high school curriculum.
Right. And they gave us a test that we had to pass, just like a history test or whatever. But to actually get our permit,
you still had to go to the DMV.
You still had to go to the DMV. But it was great. They taught us the safety. They taught us everything, and it meant like once a week for a quarter.
I feel like there was some car stuff there too.
Yeah,
like
you had to learn how to drive.
Like,
we had to learn how to. I don't know how, but
check the oil or some shit.
Checking
maybe.
the oil, changing a tire. How to use back in the day how to use an emergency brake, because he would
they disabled the brakes.
So the car unlike
while you're driving he did it to me behind the high school
over here. He had a
on Whitehall.
That's where I got mine, on Whitehall. So Mr. Adams had a steering wheel over here. I had mine, and somehow he could disable
the brakes.
So then he told me he disabled them
to stop the car.
He doesn't tell you that he's doing it, and you have to use you got to pull up on the emergency brake to stop the car.
I don't know if I could do that now. I don't know if I would even think to do that at the break.
I had class with Susie
Altman.
It's
a good reminder.
I had class with Susie.
Okay.
That's all I remember. But good times, and high school was good, and we want to hear from you about your high school experiences.
And I promise, I have to go check the YouTube comments. I forget to check the YouTube comments. I have to go do that. Because my friend commented the other day, she made a comment, and I'm sorry because I meant to go check it, and I forgot to check it. But I guess also, we love feedback. Too. Also, on the Facebook, when I post the, what?
I just rocked the table.
Christ. I thought you were going to throw up on the table or something. Get off the table. Why is it so difficult to get off the fucking table?
I don't know. I'm antsy.
That's why I'm leaning back. So The fuck was I saying?
The comments.
If you could tell your teenage self something.
Oh yeah, what would you tell them?
I would love to hear what you can tell us on Facebook, or you can tell us on the YouTube video. People don't always want to comment. People don't know how to comment. So when I post the link on Facebook, you can comment under that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 19. Next week will be 20, and that might be it. I don't know, because the following week, I'm having my surgery next Friday.
We have to see what she's.
And then the week after that,
we might have to skip a week while you're in recovery.
we might have to. Well, first of all, I can't sit for more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time. So I'm gonna
we could get you
standing
laying
up
down.
and sitting down, and like I have to like move positions every 15, 20 minutes. And I can't wash my hair. I can't shower that whole next week. I'm gonna have my baseball hat. So I have a hat that says "fuck it," but it's not spelled F-U-C-K. It's like F-U-K-I-T or something. And it was from a group that was they supported like a suicide prevention support thing. I got it at a beer festival. I found it at a beer festival. Someone lost at the beer festival. I couldn't find who it belonged to, so now I have it. Anyway, so I said to Joe, I'm gonna take this to the hospital. I'm gonna wear it out. Maybe not.
That'll go over well.
But I can wear it for this.
Yeah.
I'll wear my hat so you can't see.
So
my
you would tell your
crazy
younger
hair.
stuff to in high school. We're talking about high school. What would you tell your younger stuff in high school? We've made that distinction. I would say to myself not to be as serious.
We're gonna recap.
Not to be serious. Not to be as serious, because when I got to college, it was a free-for-all. You would tell yourself in high school to be more serious.
No, that's not what I said.
Oh.
To be more involved with the high school experience than what I was.
Okay.
But I don't regret any of that. No, so I'm good. And that's the recap. Okay,
Okay.
so happy St. Patrick's Day, and hopefully, also those of you that watch the Oscars, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And also about the movies, because you've not watched them, but we're
No, I've not
trying
watched the
to get
movies.
through them all. But anyway, okay, so have a great week.
Have a great
and
one.
we'll check in next week.
Yep,
Take
see
care.
ya.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
I can't
Can you
read.